It's Friday. Happy Friday, guys. We're live again. We're going to keep it short today. Your boys got to compete. We got to compete tomorrow. So we're going to do a little short show, maybe some research. We're going to keep it basic. Is this the right show? Let me make sure I'm in the right place. If you saw the thumbnail, we got Mikey, we got Gordo, we got whatever you guys want. Actually, we can do whatever you guys want. I think we're good. Yeah, we're golden. All right, so let's get into Mikey, man. Mikey, little cringe. Let me pull myself up. Can you guys all hear me? I guess we're good. No, my hearing's not as good as it used to be. So we got Mikey over here. We'll cover him a little bit more, but let's just warm up with some Mikey.
About jiu-jitsu that's insane that nobody really thinks about is how violent it is. MMA fans love violence. And jiu-jitsu, if you choke someone and they don't tap, they die. If you go for a joint submission, their arm will literally fall off, or leg. You know, it's a very violent sport. And I think that this rule set that Claudia and Techi and UFC developed, I think that it really makes the violence come out of jiu-jitsu where more people other than jiu-jitsu nerds could enjoy it. So it's just so exciting what we're doing here. But yeah, that's one of the biggest things I said, that we have to finish the matches, thinking about submissions and the finish instead of just trying to win by points or things like that. We can't do that here. It's just about the violence of jiu-jitsu.
Thanks, Mike. He's really selling the program. Violence. That's all we got. That's all we got over here, man. Screw the technique. We're just violent people. I don't know if that's the right marketing. Is that the message we want to send to the masses, that we're all about violence? No technique, no finesse. You know, what happened to the smooth art? The arte suave. What happened to that, Mikey? Did we give up on that? Marble says, interesting. I believe it when I see it. Yeah, I mean, shoot. I ain't saying we interesting. But, you know, I never said we were violent until now. So that seems to be what Mikey's aiming towards, what the UFC wants jiu-jitsu to be more violent. I mean, I want jiu-jitsu to be less violent. Jiu-jitsu is mostly kids and masters level athletes, you know, people over 30. That's jiu-jitsu right there. The people that are going to be tuning in, you know, might be a little bit younger age. You know, probably 18 to 25, maybe that's who they're aiming for. I'm not sure who the UFC demographic is. They want to see violence. I want to see, you know, think about boxing. They call that the sweet science. I want to see jiu-jitsu treated very similarly. Not like a, you know, a circus. I want jiu-jitsu people to be seen more professionally. Every professional sport I know of, football, basketball, baseball, there's no violence anywhere. There's less violence. So I'm not sure. Even Jiu-Jitsu Mag says, is promoting the violent aspect really necessary in order to promote jiu-jitsu to the mainstream? I don't think so. I think Mikey and Claudia, UFC, BJJ, and UFC, these are all the people that are tagged here. I think they're fumbling the bag right now. They're fumbling. It's cringe. It's I don't know who they're trying to get. Who are they? Instead of educating the UFC fans so they understand what the groundwork is, they are going the opposite direction. Let's make it more violent. Not only are they testing, you know, they're going to have USADA up in there, they're going to have it more violent. So what the heck, bro? You can make it exciting without being super violent and, you know, wrecking these athletes' bodies. I mean, the UFC does enough damage. The UFC going to have $1 billion CTE lawsuit on their hands. Give it some time. Daddy Dana, he gonna make it out. He's gonna make his money and retire before that lawsuit hits. It's kind of strange to me to focus on submissions as the thing that makes BJJ violent and are exciting to watch, especially when CJI won. Everyone was talking about the matches with dynamic stand-up and passing. Yeah. So the less violent show had probably going to have better numbers. And the cool thing about CJI, again, I'm not sponsored. I'm not paid by CJI. You can see the numbers on YouTube. Just go to look on YouTube. You see how many people watch the video. However, I can't do that for UFC. I don't know what their metrics are. So I think people are drawn to more dynamic moves. They don't understand submissions. Submissions don't make no sense. Oh, he tapped out. He gave up already? They don't know what happened. But they're going to understand a backflip into a, crazy, Kani Basami, blah, blah, blah. Whatever you can come up with. So let's listen to it one more time for the people that are just joining us.
Thing about jiu-jitsu that's insane that nobody really thinks about is how violent it is. MMA fans love violence. And jiu-jitsu, if you choke someone and they don't tap, they die. If you go for a joint submission, their arm will literally fall off, or leg. It's a very violent sport. And I think that this rule set that Claudia and Techi and UFC developed, I think that it really makes the violence come out of jiu-jitsu where more people other than jiu-jitsu nerds could enjoy it. So it's just so exciting what we're doing here. But yeah, that's one of the biggest things I said, that we have to finish the matches, thinking about submissions and the finish instead of just trying to win by points or things like that. We can't do that here. It's just about the violence of jiu-jitsu.
Yo, you got the art of jiu-jitsu, you got AOJ, now you got AOV, art of violence. I ain't going to the school named Art of Violence, Mikey. I'm gonna leave that to you guys. People not gonna understand violence, bro. Actually, I think most people are put off by the violence. There's a small subset of people, actually maybe a large subset of people that like the violence, but I think the majority of people, they don't like violence. They don't want to see someone get maimed or injured or passing out. They want to see a sport. So I think UFC, they missing the mark here. Maybe history might prove me wrong, but I don't think so. Kenny Kim over here. What's up, Kenny Kim? He says no. This is how I ended up in a wheelchair. Oh, he didn't. That's not how he ended up in a wheelchair, but that's funny. If you know him, he won most of his gi matches by stalling. So what? He's talking about Mikey. So what he's talking about, you can't stall. As much as I want us competitors making money, I don't want BJJ mainstream. Ruined MMA. Can you guys see that? I don't know if you guys can see that. Here, move that over. Mikey. I don't know. Was Mikey the right? Is he the right spokesperson for this? Is Claudia the right lead for this UFC BJJ? I don't think so. Let's see. True. I didn't tap. My arm fell off. Yep, it happens. Nothing will fall off. Maybe your hair. Why does jiu-jitsu need to be promoted to the mainstream? Because Daddy Dana said so. Bruh. That was awkward. Promoting violence, great. It's from UFC Pro Trump. We understand now. This is ridiculous. If anyone should be a spokesperson for jiu-jitsu to get casuals to watch, it's Gordon Ryan. People love to see him, and people love to hate him. I don't know. Mikey's a close second, apparently. Mikey is a close second behind Gordon. A lot of people don't like Mikey. I like Mikey. He's one of the best competitors. He's definitely the best American competitor I can think of. But he should not be a spokesperson. He should be a spokesperson for a pizza company. Mikey, you would have made more money selling pizza and pasta sauce than working with the UFC.
His opponents, he's able to use his physical and technique-wise to get to his points where he tries to maintain control there, and then eventually get the win. And my style is a little bit more on the opposite side, where I'm like, as I said in the interview, I'm kind of like a little chaos bubble, where I'm trying to, clear the path and trying to go for submission, trying to always innovate, always expressing myself through my jiu-jitsu, which is, I believe, what I've been doing my whole life. It's just like there's a canvas out there, I'm painting my art, and that's what I believe my jiu-jitsu is.
Awesome. Mika Gaval, one of the most exciting fighters of this modern era. You guys know, super exciting kid. Janata's really good too. I like him when he had hair back in the day. The hair gone now. My only issue is that both of these guys popped for some stuff by USADA. They both popped. I mean, they both he's still serving his sentence, and his sentence was up last year. But he's nowhere to be found in IBJJF. So who knows what's going on? I don't know. It might be an okay match. This is happening tonight on June 13th of June for my Europeans at Costa Mesa, California. So it might be okay. I'm not super excited for this matchup, to be honest. If you guys want to watch it, go check on it. If you want to watch something on Friday, you want to see some violence, go watch the Who's Number One over here. You got Sanji Hibeto versus Kid Dale. That might be a good match. I'm actually looking more forward to that. Barbosa versus that guy. I don't remember that guy, but I don't know everybody. Nettie Ivette versus Ramos. One of my homeboys is a big fan. Moody versus Andrew, another guy that's popped. I'm also a big fan of Andrew. Kyle Chambers over here, shout out to Kyle, versus Severo. And I don't know these guys either, but they're who are those guys? I don't know those guys either. I mean, who am I? I'm not famous either. Don't know those girls. Don't know those people either. That kid's good. He trains at AOJ. So we'll see if it's any good. There's too much going on. I got a tournament tomorrow, so I ain't too worried, man. If you guys want to watch Who's Number One, go for it. If you want to watch UFC BJJ, go for it. I'm not going to control you guys. I have my opinions. I try to state my opinions as clearly as I can, and you guys decide. But you guys can have your own opinions too. I'm all for that. We got a judo black belt over here throwing blue belts. Thank you, judo. Hey. Right into an armbar. Judo got a lot of concussions. My man got a concussion just from being thrown. So not only can you get a concussion from being thrown, but you can get a concussion from throwing. So I'll be pulling guard. We got some more Mikey. It's going to be a short episode today, guys. Like I said, got to compete tomorrow morning, early in the morning.
I don't want to say I'm a little disappointed.
Can't put that. Music says they're talking about Rierson, the guy that's in the division with Mikey for UFC BJJ. Shout out to Alex. Is that Alex over there? Yep. Yeah, nobody seems to be happy with this UFC BJJ. They should have got Gordon versus Craig. They couldn't get that. They couldn't get nobody to go with Mikey. They couldn't put Gio. They couldn't put Pato. They could have put Junie. They could have put Baby Shark. They could have put Cicernos. They could have put Grip. They could have put the guys that were fighting. They could have put them versus Mikey. I would have seen Mikey versus Gianni Grippo. Mikey versus Josh Cicernos. Somebody, Mikey versus Isaac. Something. You could have put somebody with some name recognition. UFC dropping the ball. Can somebody replace Claudia? I could have done a better job than that girl. I could have easily done a better job. I would have taken the microphone for Mikey. Mikey, give me the microphone, Mikey. No, Mikey. Hey, listen, we're not about violence. We're about technique. We're about putting on the best show possible. Entertainment. Nobody's getting hurt. This is like if you like the UFC, but you don't want to see the people get destroyed. Come watch UFC BJJ. Boom, easy. I would have got the right matchups. Would have taken the microphone for Mikey. And, that's it. Easy peasy, bro. How you mess up the easiest job in the world? How you mess up the easiest thing? Okay, what people want to see? Okay, let's put that. Let's make those matches. Yeah, easy. Hindsight. Mikey says first it was Gordon and me, but with his health he couldn't do the match. Yeah, he could. Mikey, you didn't pay him enough. UFC definitely not going to pay Gordo. I mean, Gordo not getting out of bed for $10,000. Says, then Craig, we were super close to doing, but he went with Flo instead. Baby Shark is now exclusive to one, so couldn't do it with me. So they went, what about Pato? So they went with the person that beat him. I really think the show came out amazing and it won't disappoint you guys. Mikey, we're not trusting you like we used to, Mikey. Mikey, weren't you singing the praises of one championship a year ago? Mikey. People don't like when you flip-flop. The only person that can flip-flop in jiu-jitsu is Craig Jones. He the only person that can flip-flop. Yeah, Owen Jones would have been a good addition. Yeah, I think guys like Owen Jones, this is from Alex, had entertaining bad blood callouts to Mikey and would be more fun in this format. Well, Mikey can't handle Owen Jones. He can't handle no European, no British or Australian trash talkers. I can't either. I ain't talking trash for no Australians. No people from UK. I can't, man, that's a different breed of people, bro. Their weather is terrible. All they do is make jokes all day. All they do is roast each other all day. The food terrible and the weather is bad. They channel that into their trash talking. I ain't mess with no Craig Jones, no Owen Jones, nobody named Jones. I ain't mess with nobody named Jones. With an accent. Just having an accent, that's unfair. They winning already with the accent. Yeah, Mikey not gonna. Mikey would have lost the trash talk against Owen Jones and Gio, I think. It says I also thought it was silly to cancel and postpone the Gio Martinez match with Mikey because of counter programming by their own show. Seems unprofessional to book one match, then decide you like other plans instead, and cancel the co-main event of a marquee event. What do y'all think? So if you guys didn't know, Mikey was supposed to have a match against Gio for UFC Fight Pass, and then they scrapped it to do this show. What is UFC doing? Says, yeah, Mikey and Gio for the show was the obvious choice. It was already booked. It had history. Everyone knows Gio. Odd they went another way. Says the girl that picked the coaches, Claudia, said in an interview that they were going to go with Diogo Hayes, but Riverson beat Diogo at Pans. Who cares? It's a no-gi event. Riverson ain't got no no-gi. He ain't done no no-gi tournaments. Baby Shark he's the ADCC reigning champion. Well, he beat him at Pan, so we're going to go with the other dude that Mikey can easily beat and has never did no-gi. Man, get out of here with this. Get out of here with this bull crap. I don't know what's going on. So, yeah, people calling that out too. So, they go with the guy that beat Baby Shark and Gi. Everyone knows that it's not the same thing. A much better match would have been Diego Pato. Well, again, you get into that jiu-jitsu math. Riverson beat Baby Shark, but Baby Shark beat Pato. And Pato beats Riverson. So, yeah. Says the UFC definitely does not have their finger on the pulse of the grappling world. I think they'll adjust and make it work, but I'm cautiously optimistic about them trying to make a splash in the grappling industry. That's why I'm doing live streams like this, so they don't make a splash in the grappling industry. UFC is a terrible business. Talking about people that could have fought Mikey and that would have been great for the show, we got Gabriel Souza. He's over here training with our boy J-Flow. Who's smoother than J Flow, guys? Nobody. Nobody's smoother than J Flow. Gabriel Souza says, "Thank you, J Flow, for the invite and the incredible class. I've been a fan of your work for a long time, always watching your breakdowns and technique videos on IG and YouTube. So getting to train with you today was surreal. We're about the same size, but it felt like he was just drilling on me the whole round. Super humbling experience and a lot of fun." So that's awesome, man. A lot of crossover. I wish judo and wrestling would support more J Flow. Can you imagine if the wrestling and USA Judo and USA Wrestling worked together, and USA Grappling worked together? Well, J Flow, he's a great ambassador right there. He's a great ambassador. Who else better than J Flow? Maybe Travis Stevens, the only person. But we got to get Travis Stevens back in shape. Have you guys been seeing Travis Stevens? We got to get him back in shape, bro. He got that Boston build, that Boston cream build. But yeah, shout out to both of these guys for cross training. Got Sean Strickland, UFC. What does Sean Strickland got to say about the UFC?
Earth is probably about 4 million liquid. When I say liquid, I mean in investments.
Gotcha.
I have about 500,000 in real estate, and the rest is in like different accounts. By the time I'm done fighting, worst case scenario, I'll probably have like a net worth of like 8 to 10 million.
And you could just live off that?
I could live off that. I would do about a 5% withdrawal. So 5% withdrawal of like 8 million, was that like 400,000?
A year, yeah.
Yeah, so when I'm done, I'll probably be making about 400K a year at a 5% withdrawal. Now, mind you, I'm still gonna leave 5% in to grow.
Yeah.
But yeah, man, I don't know. I won't stop. Like, I like to work.
So shout out to him. Funnily enough, he's making all this money with the UFC, but where his plans are to invest real estate and other accounts. So UFC, you're not gonna make your money. You might make a little bit of startup money in the UFC if you're smart. Sean Strickland has a master's degree in sports management. We did this research before. So even he's like, man, I'm putting all the money away. I'm going to try to live off, whatever dividends or, whatever percentage coming back to him. So if you think you're going to survive on the UFC money, good luck. Good luck. I think what's working with these guys, UFC is guaranteeing them a lot of matches, possibly 4 matches, possibly 10 to show, 10 to win, possibly 15 to show, 15 to win. So they can make a decent amount of money. It's not life-changing money, but it's comfortable money. The UFC wants you a little comfortable, just enough so that you can maybe buy a house, put a down payment on the house, buy your favorite car. Not outright, but you can put some money down on your favorite car, and then now you're stuck in that lifestyle. You start having kids. Oh man, I want my kids to go to private school. You need more. You need more better health insurance. So once you get on the UFC bandwagon, you kind of addicted to the paycheck, just like every other job. So I'm not saying Craig Jones Invitational was different, but at least you got all that money up front. You can actually invest that money and from just one event versus doing 4 events in the year. Your body's going to be a little bit better off competing 4 times in the year, especially with the violence that Mikey's promoting. You're probably not going to survive very long. And Sean Strickland, the thing he's not talking about is how good is his health from the UFC. I'm certain that their life expectancy goes down too, just from all the damage they're taking, overtraining, the dieting. These guys diet 20, 30 pounds, maybe more sometimes. So they're not even going to get a chance to enjoy. They're not going to get the chance to enjoy this lifestyle, all that money. Their quality of life is going to be lessened, guys. So keep that in mind. Someone says, so if you work your life away to be a world-class MMA fighter, that's a champion in the biggest organization in the world, you can retire with a slightly above average income. That can't be real. Yeah, that's basically what's going to happen. They're going to have slightly higher than the average income. But they taking a lot of damage. That brain damage, their health. They're gonna need a lot of that money. A lot of that $8 million is going to go to covering his health care costs. He's gonna need some nurses eventually, probably sooner than us. Hip replacements, shoulder replacements, knee replacements. That stuff starts to cost money. Investments can go down too. You think you could have all the money in the world, your investments go down overnight if you got everything in stocks. Someone says the difference is the experience, the exposure, the fame, not waking up to go to work and loving what you do. Plus, most fighters aren't the brightest, so this is more to anyone can ask for. Says, yeah, we're kind of going through some of the comments. Jason Whitfield, what's going on, Jason? There's very few jiu-jitsu athletes that the MMA and casual fans will know. Craig and Gordo are really it. To the base, a show off Mikey, and that guy was a mistake. If Dana cared about jiu-jitsu, he would be pissed. Mikey a nerd. I like nerds, but Mikey a nerd. He can't lift up the whole show. Rearson, we don't even know Rearson. he unless he's a phenom, in marketing, he can't lift up the whole show. You really do need a Craig Jones athlete, maybe an Owen Jones. You need somebody named Jones to lift up the show. Mikey, and Mikey, I like Mikey, but I would take the microphone from him. Whenever they ask Mikey a question, give me the microphone, Mikey. I would take that microphone from Mikey so fast. They made a mistake. I knew they made a mistake when they put the girl in charge, Claudia. They made a mistake with her. That was the biggest mistake they made. I saw that. I was like, well, they messed up. Speaking about ladies, we got some signage, some people. So we're talking about UFC BJJ. Let's talk about RAF, Real American Freestyle. So this is the organization owned by good old Hulk Hogan. Yeah, brother. So they have this new organization. I'm not sure when it starts, but they just signed Sarah Hildebrandt, which if you guys watched yesterday, we talked about her. She got a new shoe deal with Rudis. So it was looking good too. One of the most decorated women in American freestyle, now signed to RAF. Sarah Hildebrandt is a 6-time world team member, Olympic gold medalist 2024, and Pan American champion, known for her precision, pace, and leadership on the mat. She's helped define an era in women's freestyle, and she's not done yet. I've been working on my teleprompter voice, guys. We got some more people signed up. Bo Bartlett, Nathan Tomasello, Matt Ramos, Seth Gross. So they signing a lot of talent. So you got this show going on. You also got what's the other one? Champions League Claw. You got Claw that's going on too. Can we find Claw real fast? So there's two kind of big wrestling organizations kind of fighting. RAF got all the money. They got the Hulk Hogan money, they got the Real American Beer money, and then you got Claw, which is kind of like the YouTubers, kind of the YouTube guys. So they're starting their event pretty soon. It's going to start in Atlantic City, July 21st. I don't think I'll be around in Jersey for that, but that might be pretty interesting. I don't know what Real American Freestyle, what they're doing with the rule set, but with Claw, they are making it a little bit interesting. They've done a few
90 seconds.
They've done a few events, so 90 seconds, shorter rounds, and it combines Greco with freestyle and folk style. And they got these cool little cones. I don't know if you get points if you hit the cones. So honestly, I think if they just left it alone, it would be popular. Just freestyle. Let freestyle. Freestyle is popular enough, man. We don't need to change all the rules. And they do some Greco too, which I like. I like that they make you do a little bit of Greco. So we'll see how that goes. this seems to be more, headed by real wrestlers like Caden, is that his name? Caden, the kid on YouTube, and some other guys. While Real American Freestyle seems to be more like, the big money, not venture capitalists, but, kind of like more so that lane. Talking about wrestling and ladies, we got new Delaware State got their new coach.
Announced, I had potential student athletes already reaching out saying, this is a dream of mine. I've always wanted to attend an HBCU and I've always wanted to wrestle in college. And I've actually postponed signing at other institutions so I could see who they hired and start getting that ball rolling. So that's something I didn't expect at all. I thought I was going to be, going door to door, begging everybody who hadn't signed yet and trying to find, maybe high school seniors who decided not to wrestle in college, and I was going to give them some magical pitch to convince them to not only wrestle in college, but come wrestle for me. That's not been the case, and I've been so pleasantly surprised. The day that my hiring was announced, I had...
So this is Kenya Salone, and she's the new Delaware State coach. So, man, the females wrestling's growing, man. You got to make a space for the ladies, man. No more J-Rodding in the corner, guys. No more Jing your rod in the corner over here no more. Jiu-jitsu, female jiu-jitsu's growing. Female wrestling's growing. You got to make a space for these ladies. So if you got creeps in your gym, man, it's time to get those dudes out of there. Else you might have a lawsuit on your hands, some other stuff on your hands. We read a story on Reddit where one of the coaches was hitting on the 30-year-old coach was hitting on the 17-year-old students. So, stuff like that can't happen anymore. It just, you got to nip that in the bud before it becomes a major issue. So again, the ladies are coming, man. They're coming. Pause on that. They're coming into the sports. They're coming into the spaces. So you got to make room for them. If you're smart, you're gonna have some more get some female coaches, develop some female coaches, start developing some female athletes. And that's going to be a big market for your schools. Okay? Think about it, man. The wave's changing, man. Can't be Jane your rod no more. Can't be no more boys club like it used to be. So, they deserve a space in our sports. Wrestling, judo, jiu-jitsu as well. So be smart, man. If your environment is not conducive to that, you need to make the changes. Speaking about changes, we got a new academy, Shin Academy. So if you guys know the Nero Bros, for my guys that are into the jiu-jitsu, they're these two Asian twin bros that train with the Mendez brothers. Probably seen them. They got this jaw going on. They're pretty good. I believe they did rooster weight or light feather. So they were under Axis BJJ, and I forget where they were. Yokohama. Shout out to Yokohama. So they were there. I don't know if you have a picture of them. They were, they were competing internationally for a while, but I guess they decided to move back to Japan. So shout out to them. Pretty young bros. They got their black belts from the Mendezes. I say back on the mat with the new belts, but same mindset. The black belt journey has just begun, and we are hungrier than ever. So excited for the progress we will make from now on with these world's best professors and mentors. So they got their belts. I don't know when they got their belts. December 2022. So they stopped competing for some reason. They did a lot at brown belt, and then they I guess they didn't get the results they wanted at black belt. But they kind of stopped a little too early. So maybe we'll see them come back. So again, the kids classes. Oh man, they definitely been at Axis. Shout out to the instructors here. I met this guy. I trained with him before. Japanese Brazilians. So they've been training for a long time. So again, guys, we're talking about your ladies programs. Also, you got to invest in your kids programs. Those will be your future champions. They said 15 years ago, we started jiu-jitsu at Axis Jiu-Jitsu in Japan. We were 7 and 8 years old. I guess they're not twins. We used to ride bikes to the academy right after school and stay on the mat until late at night, and then go home together with bikes. We spent most of our time in childhood on this blue mat and grew up being influenced by amazing sensei and many great people. Thank you, everyone, for supporting and cheering for us since day one. It was great to share the mat with you all again. Looking forward to coming back. So yeah, man, that's is that violence? Is that what you think about when Mikey's saying violence, raw, anger? Is that what you think when you see these kids training? They're riding their bikes? No, I see discipline. I see focus. I see purpose. I see legacy. I see a lot of things. I don't see violence though. Is violence what we want to be promoting? We're a kid-friendly sport. We got kids, we got ladies, we got masters and elders. I don't want to see the art of violence. I want to see the art of jiu-jitsu. And UFC doesn't understand that nuance. Claudia doesn't understand that nuance. Dana White doesn't care about that nuance. So, if you let people like them control the sport and the narrative, I mean, the future of jiu-jitsu gonna go downhill. So, that's why I do my live stream like this. My little voice, my little bit of views, my 3 views. So we got a team Australia over here. Got the coach Lachlan Giles. You got 66 kilograms Fabricio Andre, who's Brazilian, but he's on the Australian team. 77. You got Levi Jones. 88. You got Lucas Kennard. You got Declan Moody at 99, and 99 plus you got Bedia. Who's Declan Moody? Oh, some huge Australian dude. What do they got in the water in Australia? What's in that water over there? So no, who's that? J-Rod? Is J-Rod competing? We don't know. My man was Jay and his rod. Yeah, you can't have no more J-Rods, man. Too much violence is not good for the sport. Talking about the sport of jiu-jitsu, we got Greg Saunders, your guys' favorite coach now. You guys have moved on from John Danaher to Greg Saunders. Greg Saunders criticizes the copycat culture in BJJ coaching. Everyone's a copy of John Danaher and Gordon Ryan. Aren't they copies of Hinto? Aren't they copies of Hinto Gracie? Greg Saunders, a strong advocate for CLA, constraints learning model. I don't know what it. I've read what it means, but I keep forgetting. Constraints-led approach, something like that. I don't know. Recently voiced his concerns on the Charles Aogan Experience podcast. His main critique that too many coaches are simply mimicking the style and language of John Danaher and Mr. Gordon Ryan, without fully understanding or adapting it. Well, that's the whole point. You don't need to understand or adapt it. You just copy it until you can make it your own. Easy peasy. I mean, we still don't know what ecological means. Greg Saunders can't explain it. His students can't explain it. Academics can't explain it. Here's what he has to say on the topic. The big issue in the community right now is literally everyone is copying John Danaher and Gordon Ryan because it works. You can copy Gordon Ryan and Danaher and win tournaments. You don't even know what ecological means, so you can't copy it. Saunders believes this trend of duplication stifles creativity and limits the development of truly effective and personalized coaching styles. Instead of encouraging unique perspectives or exploring new ways to teach the sport, many are sticking to a structure built around another coach's framework. He warned that merely copying Danaher's system without truly digesting it or tailoring it to one's students undermines the broader growth of the art. And while Saunders acknowledges the brilliance of Danaher's contributions, he challenges instructors to explore their own voices rather than relying solely on someone else's blueprint. I'm going to be honest here. Jiu-jitsu people don't seem to be that sharp. So, they got to copy somebody's homework. They're copying Danaher's homework. I don't see that changing. And they're gonna copy. People copy whatever's working. They're gonna copy the Mendez brothers. They're gonna copy Daisy Fresh. They're gonna copy Danaher. They're gonna copy Greg Saunders. They're gonna copy Lord Irvin. They're gonna copy Fabio Gurgel. They're gonna copy whoever they look up to. They're gonna copy. If it's working, it's working. Jiu-jitsu is not. I know we like to think, jiu-jitsu is the chest of grappling. I'm gonna be honest. A lot of the dudes that winning in jiu-jitsu, they ain't smart. They not smart. Do you think Nicky Rodriguez is smart? No. Some of the guys, maybe Joseph Chan, pretty intellectually curious. But the majority of these dudes, they ain't smart. they just really good athletes, and maybe they can intuit the movements and they understand the movements. They can't explain the movements, but they can do it. But I want to be honest, a lot of these guys ain't smart. They're good at jiu-jitsu somehow, but they ain't smart. A lot of these guys ain't going to school, can't read, can't write, but they're great at jiu-jitsu. I don't even think Gordon Ryan finished high school. I mean, I can kind of tell that though, to be honest. But I wish smart people were really good at jiu-jitsu, and sometimes that's true. Maybe you might get a Mikey. I don't know if Mikey's smart or got autism. I don't know if any of these guys are smart. I'll be honest, all my smart friends that were great at jiu-jitsu, they all ended up becoming doctors. They said, screw this, I'm going to become a doctor, or screw this, I'm going to do math. Guys like, Hillary, what's that girl's name? I can't remember that Hillary girl, my friend Chris Moriarty, they became doctors. Rayhan, doctors. Some people get into engineering. I think even Eddie Cummins, he was like, screw this, I'm going to get into engineering or something. So the smart people get out of the sport and they go do something more productive. I'm still in this sport for some reason. Maybe I need to get my butt out of here too. I need to go put my college degree to work. So I don't know, man. I don't think I think jiu-jitsu is a cesspool, really, of ego and ignorance a lot of times. Speaking about ignorance, I'm getting ready to do a tournament, so I'm crazy too. Danny Choppa says, just got to practice Steven Seagal keto locks. Yeah. So you guys gonna help me research. We're gonna research my bracket real fast and see, maybe look at maybe one or two matches of the guys I'm competing against, so you guys can see how I prepare for tournaments. So usually I wait for the bracket to come out, which came out yesterday. So we're gonna look at my bracket, New Jersey Spring schedule, Saturday. So I'm pretty early in the morning. I believe 9. Maybe they changed the time too. Let's see, adult male black belt, middleweight, 9:42. So my points got killed, bro. Come over. You guys can't see. Can I scroll up or down? You guys can't see it. My points got killed, bro. I had like 40 points or something. All my points gone. Because every year your points are weighed less. Nothing's moving. Jesus Christ. I can't grab anything on here. Danny Choppa says, I'll be there. Hopefully a better run than last weekend. Oh, did you do the NJ BJJ? Or PBJJ? Which one did you do, bro? I can't even grab the thing. This program sucks. So anyway, you guys can't see it, but I got 13 points. So I had 40 points. I had 40 points up until Worlds. Then every year your points are weighed less. So that means you have to keep competing to get points. So I'm pretty screwed basically. I got 13 points. So to do like world championships or anything, I need like 80 points. So unfortunately, with the system the IBJJF has, you have to get more points. So you got to spend more money. So because of that, my seeding is less. I have a low seed, middle seed. So the other guy only had 0. It was like the top seed. He had 22 points. I had 13. Other guys got 0 points. So I don't know. I don't know if we have to do a round robin. Sometimes you have to do a round robin. Other times you just do. Maybe we don't have a round robin. So hopefully I can get some matches in. I'm fighting a guy named Matthew O'Donnell. So let's check him out real fast. We're gonna go to YouTube. I'm gonna try to stay on YouTube. I don't want to pull up my Flow Grappling for this. Jason says, poor Greg, none of the Americans are competing at CJI, and the ones that are competing have already joined as a wild card on other teams. Craig was mad because if there is no USA team, ratings will suffer. Who's on his team? He's got the Corby Bros, right? Man, I can make a US team easy, bro. You know, the Tackets were complaining like, oh, we don't train a check mat. We don't know. We don't want to make a team. Came up with every excuse they could come up with. They should have just said we don't want to do it. There you go. You don't want to do it? Okay, we understand. You don't need the long video on it. Matthew O'Donnell balance. Is that how you spell his name? T-T-H-E-W O'Donnell. Let's see. This guy looks pretty big. Actually, wait a second. Do I know this guy? No. Matt O'Donnell, is that the guy? He might be from. Is that the guy from Florida? It might be a common name though.
Your main event grappler, Matt O'Donnell.
I don't know if that's him. Oh shoot, that music got me. Oh no, I was zoned out. I was trying to read the comments, so the music might have slid on me. I don't know if this is the right guy. Maybe Ground Zero Grappling, possibly. I know this other guy, Matt. Hidden says, what do you think about Musamechi? I think he's cringe. I like Mikey. He's a great fighter. He's a great grappler. I don't think he should have been the main draw, the main person, the main coach, the main face of UFC BJJ. I don't think Mikey, he's not charismatic like that. Now, he might get some views just because people don't like him. That's true. I don't know if this is the right guy, but we'll see. We're going to zoom through this. I really don't watch matches at full speed, regular speed, so we're going to zoom through it. Danny Talpa says, kind of wish IBJF had a sub-only rule set. I like the points, you know. At least with the points, you can understand what's going on when you do sub-only. I mean, nobody really does sub-only. You know, even ADCCs have sub-only, have points. EBIs have sub-only. Most sub-only then goes right into, overtime rules. I'm trying to think. Who's number one is kind of a sub-only, but then they got their own scoring system. Fight to Win has their own scoring system based off how many submissions you attempt. I think this is the guy. I don't know. Sometimes I research and then I know that guy. Then other times I make a mistake. He had a nice little outside pass there. Little Toriando. So what I do, I don't research too hard. I'll kind of just get a feel for the opponent, you know, because people adapt, they change, they evolve, you know. So if you do too much research, I've done that before where I researched a ton, and then homeboy, he didn't do none of the moves. He was doing other stuff. So it looks like he's got some decent outside passing to the right side and some good pressure, so I got to watch out for that. Submission game, I'm not quite sure. He likes to be on top. He likes to control the legs. And so this is he got a good pass right here where he controls the head. Toriando throw to control the head. I think we'll see it again. He grabs for the head right here. Boom. Almost like a crazy dog pass. Maybe some body lock passing. Oh, I want somebody to go body lock passing on me. I'm ready, bro. I'm about to put my hand up in their neck. So he likes to get points. He got good passing, you know. Nice left side pass here. You know, at black belt, you just got to fight, bro. So I'm not sure if that's the right guy. What I'm going to do is look and see if there's another match with someone that looks like him. He's got matches from a long time ago, but I don't know if that's him. Actually, it might be him. I don't know. He ain't got no recent matches. I don't know if that's him. I might be looking at the wrong person. Let's see, balance. I might have the wrong person, bro. Don't really matter too much, man. I know my game plan. Is that the right place? I have no idea. No clue. So I'll look. I'm gonna look on my Flow Grappling later. I'll see if that's him. Let's look up the other guy, Wilker Santos Marquez. So definitely a Brazilian name. A-Force Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. So I'm gonna look up that guy again for the other on my after I finish this. Okay, it's Wilker. Let's see. We're gonna look at the most recent one. That seems to be a better fit. Is that brown belt? That was black belt, Madrid Open. So we're gonna watch this. Again, you never know how good people are. Actually, I don't want to see that one. I want to see the most recent one. You just gotta go, bro. Gotta go. London 2024. So I don't know what this is last year. Let's see. Well, we know who's. I don't know which one's Wilker though. A-Force. I don't know which gi it is. I don't think it's checkmate, so it's probably the guy in black. Could be wrong. So he pulls guard. Let's see. Kind of lanky guy for middleweight. Double guard pull. So he looks to be more strategic. Maybe gonna pull guard. You never know. You never know with these guys. Looks to have a nice spider. Some possibly might need a double guard pull and come up for the advantage, or hang out in the double guard pull for a second. You never know, man. You never know how good these people are. Double guard pull again. When you double guard pull, guys, you got 20 seconds to do something. Come up or go for something. He's going for ankle lock. Let's see. Both guys going for ankle lock. Same thing. They're going to make you stand up after 20 seconds. We're going to zoom through this. Ankle lock, so I better watch my feet. Watch my feet, especially with a tall guy. Let's see. He goes for a toe hold, but he kind of gets up his back, so there might be some potential for back attacks. He looks pretty flexible, can invert pretty well. I feel like I fought the other guy too. Reverse close guard. We're going to zoom through it, guys. I know you don't want to watch this stuff. Other guy goes for ankle lock. So 2 points. Close guard. Looks like he's hard to move around. Tall, lanky guy. Gets almost caught in an arm bar. Oh, no. Tall, lanky guys, they're hard to finish here. He's probably gonna step out or something. 50-50. Looks like he put himself in 50-50. No, did he? We'll get back to Mikey, guys. I know you want to see Mikey. I got to do research, though. Don't you guys want me to win? Don't you guys want me to win tomorrow? Leg drag position. Let's see if we can finish. Other guys working some lapel guard. Let's see. It looks like this guy knows how to defend the lapel guard pretty well, so kind of in the ankle lock now. You got it, bro. Belly down. Watch out for knee bar, though. No. This guy looks pretty tough. I'm just going to have to go for it. That's what my old coach used to say, man, go for it, man. Go for it. Looks like he likes to do the stack passing or, he's defending Kyle the arm lock here. He did leave a backside 50-50 open. Uh-oh. What Danny Choppa said he wanted to do submission-only rules, that would have been it in submission-only. That would have been heel hook or something. 2 points there. No? Bro, you should have stayed on top. So this guy's pretty savvy, so I'm going to have to play smart. I can't play loose. I got to go in with the purpose, Go in with the game plan. Possibly I might try my passing. Looks like this guy really good tournament style, sweep, 50-50, open guard, lanky body. I'm gonna have to put the pressure on him for the whole 10 minutes. He's in some weird positions. I can't let him get into these weird positions, basically. So I'm gonna look up some more of this guy. Don't want to bore you guys too much, but I just wanted to show you that, how we do research. We go try to find as much information as we can. And I just when they're taste testing, the wine testing or ice cream testing, I just try to see the essence of their game. And then, I don't do too much research. You got to be able to adapt, especially in a tournament. Sometimes, that guy's not here. You got to fight that guy. Oh, shoot. Things going to change. So how fast you can adapt to your opponents, your situations, that plays a big deal. So I'll finish my research later, but I just wanted to show you guys, I go through the match, kind of see what they're doing. I can see their body type, can see maybe some techniques they really like to do. Nothing too crazy. I don't psych myself out. I'm ready to go. I'm ready to eat some cookies. Let's get this match ready. Let's go, man. That's how I do my little bit of research. Again, tournament format. If it's a super fight, okay, you do more research, game plan more. If you're in a tournament, Evan put it really good. He said, man, get through the first match first, because it ain't going to help you if you research everybody and you lose the first match. You cooked. So we got some news. I think Gordon Ryan is on the thumbnail, isn't he? I think I put him on the thumbnail. So it says, gym attire rules at Kingsway. Gordon Ryan loves jiu-jitsu. Here at Kingsway, we want to always keep a clean and professional look. I like that. Danny Chopper ready for tasty cakes. Yeah, man. I'm actually supposed to lose more weight anyway. I'm trying to get down to 170, so I'm going to have a little bit of fun, but then back on the diet by Monday. He says, we want to always keep a clean and professional look. With that in mind, we want all students and social media posts looking as uniform as possible. Uh-oh. Gordo going to have a uniform. I'm not the biggest fan of uniforms in the jiu-jitsu schools, but, I understand. Professional athletes may wear any attire they want during the pro sessions, though all recreational students will need to adhere to a normal attire protocol. So I think a lot of people not going to want to do that. Because I imagine a lot of people that go to Kingsway will be drop-in. So either they're going to have to borrow a uniform or they're going to have to buy a new uniform to train there. So people don't like that, Gordo. Did you guys have a uniform at Henzo Gracie's? Nope. It's crazy how people they came up no uniforms the whole time. The whole time they've been training. Then they get their spot, and then they want to have a uniform policy. And that puts a lot of people off. I know Rich Homie Quan, my boy Quan, he ain't gonna go there if you got a uniform. I respect that. If I drop in at a school, they got a uniform, I'll put it on. We went to Meow Bros. We had to wear white gi. I went to Warner's. Went to Warner Jiu-Jitsu. I had to put a black gi on. That's cool. I came up at Alliance, so we had to wear Alliance gis, which I didn't like. It was always gis I hated. I didn't like the brands. Now they got better brands, but before you just had one gi. That's all you could wear. And you can only wear that gi. You're always, even in no gi, you had a uniform, which sucks. So, I understand you want the beginners, blah, 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 hobbyists to wear the uniform. But, man, when did jiu-jitsu become so structured and so, rigid? That was the whole point of jiu-jitsu back in the 90s and 2000s. It was like counterculture. It was counter to traditional martial arts where you always wear the white uniform. You could wear whatever gi you wanted. You could wear whatever rash guard you wanted. You could dress up like a superhero. You could wear a Dragon Ball Z gi, an orange Dragon Ball Z gi, and it was okay. But now it's so structured. It's like all the fun's getting taken out of it. The sport is not that much fun, Says, yeah, I would be out of there. Grown adults telling other grown adults what to wear, especially when you already pay for membership. Yeah, you got to pay for the membership. You got to pay for the gi that you don't like. I mean, isn't this recreational? I mean, God, dog. You might as well go to judo school. I mean, judo, they wear white and blue. I understand. That's the sport. I mean, jiu-jitsu, what made jiu-jitsu cool was that it was more chill. We had a chill vibe, bro. You can chill, come in, do whatever you want just about. But now I see it becoming more structured. You got to bow to the sensei, all this rigidness. I mean, that was the whole point of doing jiu-jitsu, to get away from all the, traditional mess. It says no gi attire must be base white or base black matching rash guards and shorts. So now you got to wear white or black? Bro, those are the worst colors in the I'm tired of black. All the no-gi stuff is black. And white? I guess I can pull white off. I don't know about some of you guys, though. I got the contrast. Put that white on me, I look good. Man, I don't know. This means the uniform must be 80% black or 80% white. What percentages? Jiu-jitsu people can't do math. Logos are acceptable, as are other colors, as long as the base color is white or black. All gis must be white, with the exception of black belts or any rank above. So black belts can wear whatever they want. Sorry, guys, but if everybody else has to wear white gis, that's very hierarchical, isn't it? Is that very conducive to a training environment? All gis must be white, with the exception of black belts or any rank above, who have the option of wearing white or black. T-shirts, baggy clothes, pockets, zippers, etc. are not allowed to be worn. Men are not allowed to wear compression shorts or spats without also having shorts over them. If you are visiting or forget the proper attire, we will have black and white attire for you to purchase. Oh no, you can't even borrow the gi. You got to purchase that stuff. All right, Gordo, you're not going to get as many students. You can purchase the gi. You can purchase the no-gi attire. We are not trying to make you buy our gear, only to look uniform and professional. So buy our gear. You do not need to wear Kingsway gear, but must adhere to the black and white uniform policy. Thank you for your understanding. I ain't dropping in there anyway, so it don't matter to me. But you guys love Gordon Ryan, so you might drop in. You're gonna have to wear that uniform, guys. What people already got to say. As long as it isn't, you can only wear gear you buy from us. That's fine by me. Nope. Yeah, the no zippers, no pockets is 100% legitimate as well. You don't need to see broken fingers to see the problem. What do new people do? So new people, say a person trying to class out, they've never done sports before. They got is the basketball shorts and the wife beater. They gotta buy all that stuff to try the class. There's nothing to try it out in. Yeah, well, let's see. Everything about it is reasonable, black or white. That's it. Blue is fairly common gi color though. I have 6 of them. Well, you can't wear your blue gis no more. As soon as you start telling people they can't wear stuff, they don't want to go to your gym. At least you're not being forced to buy their stuff. Well, you are forced to buy their stuff if you ain't got the appropriate gear. Each gym can have one guy who can get away with it somehow, and it's not weird. But yeah, this is the one rule I agree with. What rule is that? The pants? The pockets? Used to train, everybody on Reddit, they don't care. I don't know. I don't like the uniform. That's it. We got one more thing with Mikey. I'm going to try not to get hit with the copyright strike, so we'll see what they're saying real fast.
For years, I have been working with Jiu-Jitsu, which is my passion. So now I'm the senior director of the Jiu-Jitsu strategy and business development for the UFC. And I have the coaches for UFC BJJ Road to the title right here, Mikey Musumeci and Harrison Gabriel.
Harrison, that's how you say his name? Harrison?
Well, Claudio, I'll start with you. I mean, you said you've been working with BJJ for so long, and, we've seen the UFC Fight Pass Invitationals, and that's been a big play. There's been a lot of noise in the jiu-jitsu world, even outside the UFC. So I guess how excited are you to kind of get this finally off the ground in UFC BJJ?
I'm super excited. Like, for me, coming from my small town in the northeast Brazil and using jiu-jitsu as the tool to come out of poverty, and was like, why we're not bringing the jiu-jitsu competitors here? Because there's so much talent out there, and I feel like jiu-jitsu needs attention and jiu-jitsu needs a company like the UFC.
Do we need a company like the UFC? I don't know. I'm the one. I think I'm the only dude saying we don't need a company like the UFC. We need CJI. CJI has put more money into jiu-jitsu than just about everybody in one event. UFC over there getting sued by its fighters. They had to pay $375 billion for one settlement, and they're getting sued again. I think they had 2 other lawsuits or something.
And the people that are behind the UFC putting a lot of energy into that sport to make sure it grows to the sport that has the potential to be.
Is that why they put her in charge and they got Mikey and Harrison? Rearson? I call him Rearson. I'm American. I say the R like an R. If they really wanted to grow the sport, they wouldn't have put her in charge. They wouldn't have put him over there, and they would have taken Mikey out of there. Let's see. Give the microphone to Mikey. So, if I worked there, I would take the microphone for Mikey. But because she's in charge, she gives the microphone to Mikey. Jason says people get so upset over things like uniforms. They are like, I don't care about how good the training is. I just want to show the world how unique and special I am through my attire. Well, I mean, you're paying for it. You pay for that uniform. You pay for that gi, that no gi stuff. You want to wear it. You're paying to train at Gordon's. I don't know. It puts people off. I understand you don't want to wear the uniform. Usually the uniform sucks. That's why people don't want to wear it. I don't know. I just feel like, your jiu-jitsu academy is your community, and I don't know, people want to express themselves. What's wrong with that? I like 10th Planet because of that. 10th Planet is always going to have it's still going to be a niche, but it's always going to have a strong following, especially in California, because Eddie gives them so much freedom, Eddie Bravo's never going to put a uniform policy in place. The people that like that, man, they're never going to leave there. Why would they leave to go to Gordon's? Even in Austin, why would they leave 10th Planet Austin to go to Gordon's? Makes no sense. Danny Choppa says, as good as Gordon is, I would rather steer clear there even before a uniform policy. Well, it just starts with the uniform policy, and then there's the hierarchy. Black belts can wear this, but you have to wear the white gi. Well, I can wear the black gi there. I'm good. You guys gonna have to wear the white gi. A lot of you guys. It's just those small little things, and then eventually, the junior senior relationship that can that goes wrong in Japan and even in Korea. Those relationships, the kohai senpai relationship, they be abusing they be abusing that thing. So I kind of see that as a extension, the uniform, and then you got to call me sensei. Gordon's like, you got to call me sensei. Imagine you 45 years old and this freaking dude over here making you call him sensei and bow to him. I ain't bowing no Gordon Ryan. Screw that.
Of guys that you probably knew from.
I definitely know who they are. I'm definitely aware of who they are because these are the best athletes in the world and they're fighting to become champions in the UFC, right? So it was amazing, honestly, for me as well. Coming into this match that me and Varison have, we had some of the best training partners on both of us. Our both gave me really understand the scene.
We're gonna skip through, guys.
It's a different format, like in terms of you're doing jiu-jitsu matches, not fighting. Like the training, I'm sure, is different. Can you just kind of compare what it's like?
Fighter, I was under Mike, and I'm sitting in.
I'm gonna stop that, guys. I feel like UFC gonna take me down. UFC quick to take me down. So I'm gonna stop right there before UFC gets the video. That's it, guys. Short show today. I'm getting ready for my tournament, so tomorrow. Hopefully I see Danny Chapa and some of you other guys if you're out there. Yeah, that's basically it, man. Mikey, we had Mikey on the cover. Actually, I want to catch him saying about breaking the arms and stuff. Can you find I'm looking for it. Now let me just play the original.
I think one thing about jiu-jitsu that's insane that nobody really thinks about is how violent it is. MMA fans love violence. And jiu-jitsu, if you choke someone and they don't tap, they die. If you go for a joint submission, their arm will literally fall off, or leg. It's a very violent sport. And I think that this rule set that Claudia and Techi and UFC developed, I think that it really makes the violence come out of jiu-jitsu where more people other than jiu-jitsu nerds could enjoy it. So it's just so exciting what we're doing here. But yeah, that's one of the biggest things I said, that we have to finish the matches, thinking about submissions and the finish instead of just trying to win by points or things like that. We can't do that here. It's just about the violence of jiu-jitsu.
All right, guys, you heard from Mikey. Make sure you don't die from the chokes or have your arm or legs fall off at the tournament. Very dangerous sport we're doing here. Danny Chapa, thank you, bro. Good luck to you. I will have the Panda gi on. Panda Nation represented. I don't know if Head Panda will be there. Head Panda, I don't think he's going to be there. He's got something going on. But yeah, good luck. Good luck to everybody. Stay safe. Happy Friday. Again, if you guys want to support the channel, Inverted Gear, invertedgear.com. Go check out what they got. They got the gi, they got the no gi. They got all your uniforms that will pass for Gordon Ryan's gym, Kingsway. You can wear that at Kingsway. That's it. We also got BJJ mental models. I'm working on the video. I've been slacking. I just filmed everything this week, and I just need to start editing. So hopefully I will do that and compete. And as always, stay safe, guys. That's it, man. I'll see you guys. Good luck, Danny Chapa. Peace out, guys.